He had flown for decades without a single issue. Then one quiet beep stopped everything. A 73-year-old traveler stepped into the scanner expecting routine clearance, but instead he was asked to step aside while everyone else walked toward their gates. And with every minute that passed, his boarding window got smaller. Most seniors walk away thinking they were singled out because of their age. That's what makes this confusing, because the truth is actually something most people never consider. Airport security doesn't see birthdays. It reacts to patterns, metal where it doesn't expect it, liquids that aren't declared, or bags that appear dense on a scanner. These small details can create a pause that feels personal. But once you know what to look for, you can drastically reduce the chances of being pulled aside. In this video, we're breaking down the real reasons seniors get stopped at airport security and sharing practical steps that help your trip move smoothly instead of stalling at the checkpoint. Section 1. It's not about age, it's about patterns. The biggest misconception about airport security: agencies like the Transportation Security Administration aren't evaluating age, they're evaluating anomalies. Body scanners pick up unexpected metal, X-ray machines flag dense or overlapping objects, and officers pause when liquids or shapes don't match what a typical bag looks like. Many seniors simply travel with more essential items: medical supplies, assistive devices, prescriptions. Individually, they're common. Together, they create variables that require verification. Security isn't asking, "How old are you?" It's asking, "Does this match what we normally see?" And when something doesn't, even if it's harmless, the process slows down. Once you realize this isn't personal, you can take control. If screening is based on patterns, then preparation is how you change the outcome. But the most common trigger isn't medical at all. Section 2. Medical and mobility items. For many seniors, the biggest reason for extra screening isn't a mistake or violation, it's medical equipment. These are completely legal items, but they can naturally trigger alerts. TSA allows medically necessary items, including larger liquid medications and assistive devices. Allowed, however, doesn't mean invisible. Scanners react to density, metal, and liquids. A hip or knee replacement can set off the body scanner, and when that alarm sounds, it can feel like the entire line is suddenly watching. CPAP machines often need to come out of their cases for a separate check. Large medication bottles without labels or weekly pill organizers with mixed pills can slow the process because officers can't immediately verify what they're seeing. Even liquid medications over the usual limit are fine, but if they aren't declared beforehand, they usually require extra inspection. The key is removing surprise. Calmly tell the officer if you have medical liquids, devices, or implants. Keep prescriptions in labeled containers. Place devices where they're easy to remove, and mention implants if the scanner alarms. These steps don't stop screening entirely, but they prevent confusion, and confusion is what makes delays drag out longer than they need to. Section 3. Packed electronics and dense bags. Not every delay is medical. One of the most overlooked triggers has nothing to do with age at all. It's how your bag is packed. Airport X-ray machines don't see chargers, tablets, or cameras. They see density, overlap, and shadow. When multiple electronics are stacked together, cords are bundled tightly, or power banks are buried deep inside a stuffed carry-on, the screen can show one dark, compressed mass. And when officers can't separate shapes quickly, the bag gets pulled aside. And that's when a 10-second scan turns into a 10-minute inspection. This happens all the time with tangled cables, tablets on top of laptops, or several devices packed into a single section. Everything may be perfectly legal, but if the image is messy, screening slows down, and minutes can turn into long waits. The solution is simple: spread electronics out instead of stacking them tightly. Keep power banks easy to access. Coil cords loosely instead of compressing them. Avoid overpacking so items aren't layered into one dense block. When the X-ray image is clear, officers don't need to pause, and that alone can be the difference between walking straight through or waiting at the inspection table. Section 4. Behavior that can raise attention. Sometimes it's not the bag, it's the moment. Airport checkpoints run on a rhythm. Trays move forward, passengers follow instructions, and officers watch for anything that breaks the flow. If someone hesitates, forgets to remove an item, or starts reorganizing at the scanner, everything slows down. That pause doesn't mean suspicion, it just means clarification is needed. Small behaviors can cause this without anyone realizing it. Checking pockets repeatedly, looking unsure, or rushing because boarding feels close can all create inconsistency. And inconsistency is exactly what security notices. Officers slow things down to regain control, not because they're targeting anyone. The fix isn't speed, it's preparation. Know what needs to come out of your bag before you reach the front. Have your ID ready. Move steadily, not hurriedly. Calm, predictable actions keep the process routine. When you act with clarity, there's far less chance of being pulled aside for something that could have been avoided. Section 5. ID and documentation issues. Sometimes the delay has nothing to do with scanners at all. It starts the moment you hand over your ID. An expired license, a slight name mismatch between your ticket and ID, or even a missing middle name can pause the process immediately. That's right, something this small can keep you from moving forward. With stricter Real ID enforcement from the Department of Homeland Security, documentation issues now trigger verification more often than travelers expect. If your license doesn't meet those standards, officers have to verify your information, which can mean delays, or in some cases, being denied boarding entirely. The fix is simple and easy. Check your ID expiration before travel. Make sure the name on your ticket exactly matches your ID. Confirm your license meets federal requirements. Documentation issues are one of the few things that can stop a trip before it even starts, but they're also one of the easiest to fix ahead of time. How to avoid being pulled aside. The good news is most airport delays are preventable. A few simple habits can dramatically reduce your chances of being pulled aside for extra screening. Keep your electronics organized and easy to remove instead of stacked tightly together. Declare any medically necessary liquids before they go through the scanner. Keep prescriptions in their original labeled containers whenever possible. Arrive at the airport early so you're not rushed or pressured. And most importantly, stay calm and move through the checkpoint with confidence. Airport security isn't designed to single out seniors. It's designed to resolve uncertainty. When your bag is organized, your documents are accurate, and you understand what to expect, the process becomes predictable, and predictable systems are easier to move through. Most delays aren't random, they're preventable. If you're traveling this year, especially over 60, knowing these small details can make the difference between stress and a smooth trip. And if you want to stay ahead of new travel rules, make sure you're subscribed.